So we've just done our provisioning run. Somehow we need to get this into that. The front of the dinghy. And then I'm rowing. We're heading home. I just cleared out my boat and I have all this space and I was wondering why, but now I realize it's because I've been on grocery shopping in a couple months. Yeah, just let the wind do the work, bro, you know what I mean? I have a new crew member joining me aboard. This is Maya. Hey there. And this is Maya's backpack. And this is all the provisioning that we've done. So tomorrow we're leaving for the Tuamotus. And today we have to put all this away and tomorrow we're going back for a booze provision. So that'll be exciting. So here we go. We have the staples, crackers, and rum, and lentils.
4 rums? I don't know, 6 months? How many wine do you have here?
All of these are all wine, except for this is creme de cassis and this is pastis. Alright, welcome to Hippie sailing. I am single-handing migrant 27 around the world. I started my trip in Maine with a very cold 10-month overhaul of my entire boat. Solo sailed through the Caribbean, the Panama Canal, 41 days alone across the Pacific, and now I am sailing in French Polynesia, trying to learn French, living the castaway lifestyle of my dreams, and doing a bunch of awesome sailing. On board the Geck, I have no fridge, water maker, fancy electronics, and my dinghy is a rowboat with a sail rig. If you're interested in seeing what I'm doing in my daily life, check out my Instagram at @boatliz. Okay, so everything pretty much is put away, and I am sweaty and exhausted. Maya is ashore trying to find some green pineapples to buy so that we can bring them to, oh, this thing is focusing on my boobs. Hello. Maya is trying to find some green pineapples and avocados ashore, and I just put everything away, so here's what my boat looks like now. We have this hammock just stuffed full of potatoes, onions, aubergine, and some courgettes. And then down here we have all the things that could get squished. Cabbage, lots of green bananas, and apples. These are all long-lasting things. And then here are some bananas for eating in the next couple days. And on this side, I have green papayas and some cucumbers. And then here is a pineapple for today. And this is some herbs that a friend brought over for us. We have basil and mint and chives. And back here we have some coconut, eggs, lettuce is for tonight, and an avocado for tonight. And then I also hard-boiled some eggs. All in all, I would say this has been a busy but very successful day, and we are set to leave in about an hour. Hopefully we'll start upping the anchor. It all depends whenever Maya gets back. No pressure. I'd like to leave around 4 or 5 so that we have enough daylight to get away from land, so that once night comes we can kind of settle out and start our watches, which I'm not sure what they'll be yet, but I'll let you guys know when I figure that out. Goodbye, Moorea! We have Maya on the helm. We have pineapples and full propane and a lot of empty bottles of rum. And we're ready for the open boat. Next stop, we're not sure where. Makatea? Rangaroa? Tikihau? We don't know. We'll see what happens. I met Maya a couple months ago boat hitchhiking, and we became friends while she was living on a different boat. I told her she could come sail with me for a month, and wherever we end up when the month is done, she'll hop onto another boat. So that is exactly what's happening. And here is her story in her own words.
My name is Maya. I'm from Germany. I'm 20 years old, and I've been traveling for 2 years now. I started from my little home village in Germany. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I just wanted to get out and see some of the world. And it turned into kind of a world trip. I always knew I didn't want to take a plane. And I went to Spain, to France, to Morocco, and then I had to figure out how to cross the Atlantic. You know, people do this on sailboats, crossing oceans. So I kind of like figured out how to do it. Found my first boat to the Canary Islands, changed boats, did the crossing, changed boats twice to get to South America. Another boat all the way here, and then here in French Polynesia, maybe like 5 different boats, just getting from island to island. And been cruising around here, trying to find work as always, and just trying to enjoy life. And that's also how I met Holly on a boat here in Farcarava. No, yeah. I don't have social media.
Sorry guys.
Sorry.
So you guys have always known that Gecko is a speedboat, but just for some evidence, I'm under motor and mainsail because it's dead downwind and I don't feel like dealing with driving the jib over every 20 seconds. And we are being passed by a traditionally paddled canoe. Hooray! Hey, the engine is off. We're sailing. It's a really beautiful day to leave. Making 4.5 knots. This is the rum line here, but I'm just trying to make as much easting as I can. Oops, not that much, that's on the reef. Because eventually we're gonna get headed in a couple days. So I'm gonna see how much headway I can make this way, and then we'll turn off and destination unknown. Weather window because I have a leak problem with my boat. So we're going 6 knots. The swim ladder just fell off, but we saved it. It was just tied on by a string. And we're overpowered, but this wind is unforecast. So I'm not really sure why it's here. But I choose to not reef because it shouldn't be here. Here the wind is starting to lighten up, so I'm changing wind vane paddles from the big wind paddle to this low wind paddle. They're just different sizes and they steer the boat to different sensitivities. This big guy I've had blow out a couple times when I get upwards of 25 knots of wind, so if it's blowing too much I take it out. It also oversteers the boat, but now I'm putting it back in. Well, now we're going 2 knots. And there's no wind, and it's really rolly because we're in the channel and the sun is setting and there's squalls over Tahiti. It's a beautiful day to be sailing. So my sleeping bag got what we're gonna call bilge water on it.
Let's call that bilge water.
And so we cleaned it and she weighted it down with pineapples so it can dry outside. And Maya, what kept happening to you last night?
Oh wait, we collected them here after they fell from there on me. And then I found them and handed them to you.
They kept like looking up because produce was flying on top of her face at night. So now you might remember there was more stuff on this side, and there's a giant pile of apples and tomatoes over here. Thanks for being such a soft landing.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Day 1. It's been kind of a shit night and shit morning. And just cloudy, squally, and then between squalls, no wind, so it's been kind of tough, but there's a tiny bit of blue on the horizon over there, and my mid salad. Yum! We're listening to Harry Potter, eating salad, and just, you know, trying to cope with the weather. Hopefully it gets better. At least we're making a good angle. Check it out in the east. Beginning of the second night out, and it looks like the clouds have finally started to go away-ish. We haven't had a squall in an hour. Yes. We're hoping for a nice night. Really pretty sunset, and okay, still a lot of clouds, but maybe less squally than last night. We are a little bit headed, but the wind is supposed to shift the day after tomorrow to come from the north. So if we make northing now and then it comes from the north, we can do our easting then, so it's less efficient, but it might just work out for us. So
It is 1 in the morning and Holly's up changing the headsail right now because we saw a squall approaching, we were ramming up, we were way overpowered, so yeah, then we can just sleep and stay on course.
Morning 2. Last night, in the middle of the night, I put up the small headsail because we were overpowered. Now we're a little bit underpowered, but it's still squally, so I'm just leaving up the little guy. I'm eating cucumber with cheese and mayo on crackers. I'm not sure what Maya is eating, but this is like a periscope. Cheese with crackers and mayo on cucumbers. Wait, cucumbers and cheese with mayo on crackers. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It's a very gourmet cracker breakfast morning. It was sunny when I woke up. Now it's squally, so just hiding down below. A cup of tea, some cucumbers, and maybe some more Harry Potter.
4th time today. Sail down. Other sail up.
One day I dream of having a roller furling headsail because all these sail changes can get kind of old. The reason I have Hank on is because when I bought my boat, the furling drum needed to be replaced, and I didn't have enough money to replace it, but what I did have enough money to do was take it off and replace it with a piece of wire and then pay to have Hanks put on the sail. So it was a budget thing, but now I feel like I'm in a place where I could put a roller furling drum on, so maybe when I get to New Zealand, could be a future project. It's morning 3 and 2 hours in sight. It's been a super windy night, which is funny because the forecast when we left said that the wind was supposed to completely die off and come from the north, and it's just stayed really subtly from south of east the entire trip, so it's pretty cool. I have my small headsail up and full main and been going super strong all night. So right now I am here, and 2 hours cool because you have a couple different options for anchoring. The first time I came into 2 hour, I went in these passes. Actually, I think I went in this one and out that one, but they're both the same. You kind of come around here and, oh yeah, where the fish is, you can actually go through a maze of coral and anchor here. But where we're heading today is what is known as a false pass, and it's located up here. And at first glance, it may seem like a pass, but it doesn't actually go through. This is probably a foot of water over coral. And there are moorings here put in by the French Polynesian government that you can pick up. So we're heading here, and it's, well, as you can see, if the wind's coming from the northwest, it's not great, but right now we have southeasterlies, so we're going to be perfectly protected from the wind, and I've heard the snorkeling is just amazing here. We're approaching the false pass, and this catamaran just was way behind us, took down all their sails, hammered on, and they're going to try to pass us. It's a race for the moorings. I don't actually know how many there are. Maybe there's enough for everyone. Maybe there's not. We'll see. We made it in! We're on a mooring. And these are actually brand new, just put in 2 days ago, moorings. So we're super safe. Maya's learning French. Remembering French.
Trying.
We were having a whole conversation about the words under and over yesterday. We couldn't remember what they were.
I got it here.
And it's so beautiful. And our friends are right there in front of us. They invited us over for beer, but first we're having tea and coffee because 10:41 in the morning and
Germans, right?
Yeah, Germans once again with the Germans. We're pretty sleep deprived. It was kind of a big night last night, so yes. Anyway, super excited to be here, and now I'm gonna have some coffee. Holly out. Thanks for watching this week's video. I put out new videos every 2 weeks on YouTube on Mondays, and for my patrons, you guys get a little snack on the days that I don't put out YouTube. And thank you guys for all your lovely comments. Thank you, patrons, for all the beautiful support that you give me. And if you'd like to become a patron, my Patreon is patreon.com/windhippie. For one-time donations, my PayPal is paypal.me/windhippie. Okay. I just shot a nason, which is unicorn fish in French. They were just swimming around the boat, and I was about to go for a swim, like an exercise swim, and I saw them, so I grabbed my spear gun, jumped in, and this is what I caught. Let me see. He's in the pot. These things are really cool. Can you see it well enough? Yeah, so anyway. That's really exciting. And then even more exciting, I tried to then go for my swim, but I had cleaned it and thrown all the guts in the water, and these huge holly-sized gray sharks were swimming around and very curious about me. I started to go swimming, and they started circling me. And the little reef sharks, I don't mind, but these guys are my size and scary and definitely interested. So I jumped out of the water, waited 5 minutes, jumped back in, no sharks, swam about 10 seconds away from the boat, sharks circling up the water column towards me. So then I jumped out of the water, and I've been waiting for them to go away, editing this video instead, and I'll jump back in now once I'm done. It's been almost 2 hours, so they should be gone. Anyway, those are the exciting things going on in my life. I'm gonna end this, ooh, now it's getting windy, hang on, with some, so Maya's been doing filming also for me, so it's really nice to get some of these shots of myself that I never get when I'm single-handing. It was a rainy day in Tuau, the day that we arrived, and I was lying in bed playing guitar and ukulele, and Maya was filming me. I didn't know. So for those of you guys who've stuck around to the end, I've put some of that in at the end. She's just sitting in the main cabin with her camera, so enjoy, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Patrons, I'll see you next week. Windshield wipers every time I was holding, I was standing like we sing every song I tried to. It shone like gold, just as the moon. It shines straight, so down, goes down to pay. You'll be my crown and my Johnny to know. Not asking much of you, just say